Action gets results. Action gets results. You have to get that ingrained in your mind. What you start today will not pay dividends till down the road, but you have to start at some point. If you want to get sober and you surround yourself with heavy drinkers, it's not going to work. You have to concentrate also on who your inner circle is. I've mentioned that before. Who are your 5 core people? And are they going to help you in your quest in life? If you want to get healthy and start working out at the gym, and yet you're surrounded by lazy people, they're not gonna spur you on. They're not gonna motivate you. If you have an idea for a business and your family members are all poo-pooing you and saying you'll never amount to anything, give it up, it's a waste of time, and you got to find people that will believe in you. When I got out of prison, I went to my mother's church, an Episcopal church. The minister there, he had gone to most of my court hearings with my mother to give her support. And when at the end of the service, I went up to shake his hand on the way out. And he said, "Do you mind coming into my office for a visit in the next week or two?" And I said, "Sure." And we picked a day, and I went in. I could have blown that off, if you're going to go in a new direction, new people are going to come into your life. They're going to help you along, and don't discount that. So I went into his office, and he's like, "How can I help you?" And I said, I wrote a manuscript when I was locked up in prison, and I have nobody in the publishing world in my circle, nowhere to turn to. I don't know what to do next. I said, "Do you know anyone in the publishing world that could help me get to the next step?" And he said, "Actually, one of my parishioners has written several books that were quite successful. He's a editor, and I'd be glad to reach out to him." So he reached out to this guy, Walter. And Walter said, let me see his manuscript. And I sent Walter my manuscript. And Walter loved my manuscript. And he said, "Clark, I'm going to take this manuscript to the agent at the literary office I use and let him take a look." The agent at the literary office, he represented several well-known authors that I had read while I was locked up. This was no fly-by-night operation. The literary agent came back to me, that my manuscript was raw and needed a lot of work. He goes, "But the story itself is fantastic, and I'm behind your story." And I became his client. If you go online and you look at how to get a literary agent, people have to write what's called a query letter, Query, and then they have to send that out to hundreds of agents, hoping that one of them will bite on that letter. And I got to bypass that process and instantly got hooked up with a great firm and a great literary agency and a great agent. And so just you have to keep your mind open, and you have to be willing to surround yourself with new people. I also went to an evangelical church for of the pastor who used to come teach Bible study in the jail. He wrote me when I was in prison. He said, "Come, see our church when you get out." And like 2 weeks after I got out of prison, I went to his church. And he said, "Hey, next month we're doing water baptisms in a tub that was made by New Jersey prisoners. Why don't you get baptized in a tub made by your fellow prisoners? I said, yeah, that's a great idea. I could have poo-pooed that and not done it. Instead, I did it. And I had to read a testimony on stage in front of a congregation of like 500 people of why I was getting baptized. And there was a girl in the audience from a place called Ginny's House. Ginny's House is for abused children. And she reached out to me after, hearing my testimony and looking up my story. And she said, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. I'm presenting at Centenary College. Would you like to be my guest speaker? And here I am, a few months released from prison, and I'm already getting offered my first speaking gig at a university. And I said, absolutely. So, had those two things like started the ball in motion of really taking my life in a different direction. And it's, bringing new people in to your circle to help you along. You have to surround yourself. You can't, I still got my party buddies, my old time friends, lifelong friends, and I've got to keep them over here though. When I'm going this way, I gotta, it's not that I've cut them out of my life, but I'm not drinking, I'm not drugging, I'm not partying, I'm not going to bars, so, we'll talk, we'll see each other, go out for a dinner once in a blue moon, but hanging out, I'm going this way, and I need people in my life who will take me that way. And you're going to need people in your life who will take you that way. Once you decide on a new path, then you got to cut out toxic, negative people who want to drag you or keep you in place, and it's going to happen, and it's happened to me, and you gotta kiss some people goodbye. It's just how it works, and new people will come into your life to help you along. One of the other people to help me along in this process is the guy who arrested me, Howie Ryan of the state police. He investigated my crime. He played a part in my incarceration, and yet he sat down with me upon my release and said, anything I can do to help you. I put on a charity event and I asked him if he would come speak at it. He said, absolutely. And since then, we've done 6 to 10 speeches together, and we've got more coming up. So again, if I had a hardened mind, a closed off mind, the victim mindset still, I would have been like, screw that guy. He played a part in my incarceration. Why would I be friends with him? No. Instead, I've healed. I'm consistently healing, constantly healing, and constantly growing. And Howie's a part of that growth and healing. And, and I appreciate him being in my life. And you have to find people in your life that will help you go in a new direction. And I got to say that over and over and over so it gets stuck in your mind. You want to get sober, you can't have your drinking buddies. You want to start working out at the gym, the lazy, overweight people that just want to go out for big, heavy lunches and dinners every day, you gotta like limit them. You've got a business idea and your close friends and family poo-poo it. You got to cut them out. When you go in a new direction, it can be lonely at times, because you have to give your full effort. You have to start getting self-discipline, and you can't be, lazy anymore. and it's a lonely road at times. Once you're successful, yeah, you'll have a lot of people around you, but getting to that point, it can be lonely at times, and it's just the name of the game, so decide what you want for your life. Start going in that direction. Cut out the people who drag you back and find new people that will help you along. And God, the universe, will put people in your path to help you along, and don't discount them. Somebody offers help. They've been sent to help you. And they may not even know why they're offering you help, but they are. And use them to get going in a new path. Peace.